Hello everybody and welcome here to the GosuCup. It is Roccat GosuCup number 3. We're into the group stages now. In fact, if you caught it live, we even did it right here on CyberGamer TV. Myself, Tobi and Kenobi even drew them right out of a hat. We're in the group stages and our first match, we kind of had to do it. It's GosuGamers. It's the GGnet boys going up against Endz. Will Endz be able to triumph over GGnet? I've been struggling for a little bit of form of late. Who knows? We are going to find out, but it wouldn't really be worth finding out if I didn't have a partner in crime, and believe me, he is guilty as all hell. Just see a couple of his pictures. He is Harry Potter. Synd, welcome to the commentary box.
Oh, thanks a lot. That Harry Potter joke is getting really old, though. And
how could it ever get old? Hang on, no, he does actually get older later on.
Toby. It's getting less and less fitting.
As long as you're not like the Harry Potter movies, the longer it keeps going, the more moody you obviously get. So as long as that doesn't happen, we're all good.
Don't worry about it. Is the game up on WAG? Because I don't see it just yet.
It should be. It should be. I actually don't know because I'm not watching through WAG. I don't trust WAG TV of late. Nothing against WAG TV. It's really good that it's still up and Garena TV has actually like bit the bullet and decided to die. And WAG TV is still providing the service. So I'm all happy for that one. But yeah, being inside the game, it's just, I don't know. It's like that security net. Because I don't know how many times we actually shoutcast together, Synd, and in the last 5 minutes of the game, when like you've had 2 reactors go down and they've just pushed back and taken another 2 reactors, like, oh my god, epic and stream is gone, buffering game data. Ah! Yeah, not a cool time.
At least, I think WAG TV improved a lot because there was a period in which it didn't work at all. And now it seems to be working for almost every game, so I'm just happy that the service is up and running again. I don't know what went wrong back then, but they must have patched the system or something because it's working, at least.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they updated their service. Who knows, but we should be happy for it anyway. We should actually summarise the fact that Endz is playing for the Sentinel side. Owner will be their captain for this one. Puppy once again taking the drafting duties here for GGnet. Now, actually, I want to ask a question of you, Synd, because obviously you've been training very, very hard with your team. It's been a while since we've had you in the shoutcasting booth, but of course this does mean you've probably been delving into the minds of all these teams. Puppy, the GGnet drafter, obviously he's doing, because of course the amount of experience he's actually got. How's that working with Kurikai? Like, is Kurikai just sitting on the back lines and just basically like, I can concentrate on my role and that is it, and Puppy takes care of the rest?
I think every top team out there, there's, well, of course I can't generalize for everybody, but I think the top teams I know of, it's never a single guy picking. What the picking position is about, whether it's blue or pink, is having the last word and the last call if time runs out. Apart from that, you discuss within the team, you've got some strategies you've practiced, and then you agree on which style you go for. Even though it may look like it, of course, because you don't see any conversation going on, that's because it's Ally Chat or Ventrilo or Skype, whatever they're using.
Yeah.
There is not one guy picking. Because why would you have one guy picking for an entire team when the entire team has to take part in the game afterwards?
Yeah, unless you're at SMM 2009, that was one man picking. That was one man picking. I don't know if everyone actually saw the pictures and clips of all that one, but yeah, that was MYM. And that was one man picking, and it was like, oh my lord, was that a bit of a hoo-ha.
That's surprising.
That as well as FTD, but FTD just literally played exactly the same draft the entire way through the competition. Like, yeah, we already know what we're doing. We don't have to worry. It's a carry massage as well as DOTA. Yeah, 3 carries. Oh, those were the days. Anyway.
Those were the days that we are luckily
past. Yeah. That was so bad. That was so freaking bad. It's like, yeah, 70-minute game of rice. So yeah, that put me off the Asian cuisine for a long time. Anyway, let's have a look at the game that we're actually shoutcasting right now. So we've already got our first 3 bans. Alchemist, Batrider, and Invoker being banned by Owner. That is the captain for Endz. GGnet Puppy has removed Visage. Clockwork Goblin as well as the Vengeful Spirit. First pick did actually go to the Sentinel side. And then it got thrown back to Puppy. Sentinel actually picked up Pugner for their first pick. And Puppy instantly picks up Morphling ES. And as far as starting picks go, considering what's actually through the ban pool so far, I think Puppy is going to be more than happy with his picks right now. Obviously, this is the new version. I don't think we're playing 6.69. Actually, no, we did load 6.69C, I think. Saw that load screen come up. Yeah, so it is actually still our shotgun morph.
Yes, and with that in mind, I think this is a pretty good draft for the Scourge, at least for now. Earthshake, brilliant tool to have together with Morphling, of course. Great synergy, the long stun sets up for the waveform. A good cover as well for Morphling if the Sentinel side decides to pick up a natural hex such as Line, Rasta, whatever. Some good counter to Morphling. Shaker, if he's around, Morphling is almost impossible to kill because that fish is just going to come off, block you all, and Morphling can wave out safely. So what Owner needs to decide now is whether he wants to go for some sort of semi-pushing strategy. Even though the Scourge has Shaker, they might be able to get quite a bit out of split pushing on different lanes because, of course, Shaker can only be one place at once. And he's already got the Pugna. Of course, Pugna is just an absolutely brilliant pushing hero, especially if you put it on a solo lane. It's going to get a lot out of that. And yeah, we'll see what he goes for. But as far as this version is concerned, that Morphling is just ever so strong in mid-game. So Sentinel, they need to decide, are they going for something pushing? There's the Lion on my screen. Of course, you've got that a while ago. And yeah, that's the counter to Morphling they were looking for. And whether or not they want to take this to late game, then they need some pretty good carry, of course. Morphling, a strong carry in late, but really shines in the mid game with that shotgun build, which is, as you look over the Sentinel heroes, just going to rip one of them instantaneously apart. And Morphling's going to have a really good time if he can take out that Lion. So Sentinel needs to be careful of that already. And we'll see if they adjust their strategy accordingly right now.
It's actually interesting.
Maiden as well.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden comes up as their third pick now. I know the Morphling preys on weak intel squishy heroes. CM is literally ticking every single box in this dating game for Morphling of who he wants to kill. It's going to be a difficult time for CM. And the fact that Owner has actually left his last two carries to be picked up after our last two bans as well. Like, Pugna, as far as Pugna, Lion, CM, yeah, pretty good. But as far as hard carries go, they're still open for it. And Puppy has now got another two things he can use to actually take him out of the pool as well. So I'm interested to see how they actually go. Maybe they're actually just thinking, you know what, we already know what we want to go. We don't think GGnet's actually going to ban it on us. They can ban whatever they want to, and we'll save it to the very, very end, so they can't actually counter our picks. And technically, they do actually get... Actually, no, they don't get the last pick. The last pick will go to GGnet.
Yeah.
It's a hard position. It's a hard position.
It's looking a little bit fishy for the Sentinel already. I think the main reason they picked Crystal Maiden was to not let the Scourge have it, because it's just a famous combination. Crystal Maiden, Shaker, Morphling, a lot of mana, long slow, long stun. Just in general, a fantastic lane, especially in this version when it sets Morphling up for the mid-game, giving him good farm protection, everything you can imagine. So perhaps that's the reason they picked the Maiden, but it gives themselves a little bit of trouble here. They've got three fragile heroes, and who gets to solo? Can they solo Lion and Pugna, one in mid, one on the side lane, and put a tri-lane with Crystal Maiden? Will they do dual lanes? Also an option. Lion not really that good if he's not on a solo lane, in my personal opinion. So not really an option from my point of view for a tri-lane, but they might be forced out into that situation now based on those first three picks. And if they decide to solo Lion and solo Pugna, there's no way they can get at least two carries here. They can only get one, because then they can't have two carries on the same lane. Obviously, that would be really stupid. So. We will see what comes up. Silencer comes up for the Scourge. You've already seen it, of course. I'm delayed watching the Wild TV stream. Interesting pick. And we'll see if it's going to be played as a support, or which I'm expecting it to be. I think Miracle will play that Silencer support style. Really babysitting that Morphling of Azens or Kurokis, perhaps, while Puppy picks up that Shaker later on. We'll see. I like doing some guessing on who plays what. We'll see if I can hit 5 this time. Of course, for the Sentinel, I'm completely clueless about who plays what. I'm not familiar with this team at all.
That's right, neither am I, and that's actually kind of why I'm half looking at their bans and picks right now, because sometimes it's the unknown teams that just literally just throw you a random strat. Sometimes it works, sometimes it fails epically, but it's at least something to actually make us like scratch our heads and go, ooh, what the hell's going on here? We have seen our last bans come out, so Puck and Windrunner being removed by the Sentinel side, Puppy removing Doom and Broodmother, who managed to actually survive the first stage, the first 3 bans from both teams, but he definitely put them in for the second lot. So yeah, even then, like Doom, like he kind of had to know. Like I know it's you feel the fact that Lion is going to go solo mid up against whoever GGnet throw at him. I think they want to play Lion solo mid, CM Pugner, and then 2 carries to split up. But banning off Windrunner and Clockwork Goblin already being out of the mix as well, 2 heroes which I know I prefer to try and play whenever I'm going up against a tri lane. How these guys actually want to play, that's up to them. But yeah, GGnet, like, their lineup is strong and still like so many options for them to go for these last couple of picks as well. Sentinel, like, I'm literally just going to sit here and wait to be surprised. I think that's the only thing we can actually do right now, Synd.
Yeah, something surprising is going to come up here. I'm not expecting the Sentinel to pick the standard stuff, if you could put it that way, mainstream picks. Alchemist already out of the pool could have been an interesting pick for them here. Of course, the Replicate could be an issue, but yeah, we know Alchemist's strength and how popular he is, so he could have been a pick, but it's not going to be right here. Will be interesting to see if they settle for something melee-ish, because they've already got 3 ranged heroes. They could get some tanking,
it's the Moose.
tanking potential carry. But again, if you get a tanking carry with the Radiance here, there's just that Morphling on the other side. But then again, 1 Lion Hex, 1 Lion Mana Drain, anything on that Replicate and it's gone. At least that's a little tip from here, that Mana Drain removes illusions if you channel it for 1 second. So that's very, very useful against the Morphling Replicate.
Wow, really?
In that respect,
So you can actually
yes,
destroy the Replicate with a Mana Drain?
With a Mana Drain. You need to drain it for 1 second, though. It doesn't go away instantaneously. If you want it to go away instantly, you use the Hex. Witch Doctor.
That's
4
actually
ints.
not what I'm kind of getting a little bit weirded out. GGnet have actually managed to pick up a Warlock. If I'm actually reading correctly, we've actually kind of got... We've got GGnet with a Morphling ES, Silencer, and Warlock combination, going up with a Pugner, Lion, CM, Witch Doctor combination, and Puppy didn't even wait for that pick. It was just like, yep, Warlock, I'm good. Next.
I did take him 27 seconds to figure that one out. But actually a pretty decent pick here. That Infernal is very, very strong against supports, of course. Deals a lot of damage on impact and on the hits, and can really force these supports away. The problem for supporters, in contrast to strong carries, is that the Infernal is actually a force for them to not to be trifled with. And well, I think Poppy's got what we should say GGnet. It's just not one guy as usual. We like to call the picker names. But you're laughing at the 5th pick, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm not even going to say it until you get to see it on the WAG TV stream. Just so you can go, right. What the hell have they done?
Wait for it.
We're throwing over to Puppy now on this stream, but yeah. Yeah, Ricky Maru. Could you...
Ricky Maru?
Ricky Maru, Witch Doctor, CM, Lion, and Pugner will be the final lineup.
Assassin was a very good pick here.
From Sentinel.
It's a good spot from Sentinel.
Puppy's actually has thrown his last.
Right, it's going to be strong.
Puppy's last is Zeus.
All right. Yeah, that's a good counter pick, right? When you get that bolt down on Ricky, he's going to be visible. Global Silence will reveal him as well. That's going to be the biggest issue for the Ricky Maru this game, I think, if it gets into a tight mid-game. The Global Silence can reveal him, mess up his fighting. But again, he's a really good counter to the heroes that the Scourge have got. They've got a nice setup with all the support int heroes and good fighting potential, Pugner, Lion, Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden. And if that Ricky Maru gets some space to run around, he can really mess up all of the supports on the Scourge side. And that Morphling, they've got more than enough crowd control to keep him out of the fight if they get the chance to. So I've got the feeling that the breaking points in this game will be that Silencer and the Shaker, because if the Sentinel keep those out of the fights, I think they're in a really good position. But on the other hand, one good combo from the Scourge, Zeus ulti, Silencer ulti, Warlock ulti, Shaker ulti, you know the drill. Everything goes boom, and the Sentinel team is wiped with all of their paper heroes. So this one's going to be a lot on timing and a lot on vision, because if either team gets caught, it's going to be very, very crucial on this one.
So you look at the vision.